Let's open Pandora's box. Now remember, this is my opinion, and if you get offended, cry me a river. This will always be, and always has been, better than this. The bottom line in archery is you have to be effective. Mechanicals, cool invention, right? Does the right job. It's killed a lot of deer. The problem, and the argument with mechanicals, is blood trails. Oh, blood trails. You have to have a blood trail. That's false, okay? And don't let anybody tell you otherwise, okay? Dead deer don't run. I want my deer to die within sight. Now, yeah, these broadheads, they'll kill a deer quick. Sometimes. The problem is, mechanical broadheads magnify problems. In a perfect world, this broadhead will kill a deer very quickly, and it has. It's been proven. Mechanicals will kill deer very, very quickly, and yeah, they create big blood trails. The problem is, you hear stories of guys' broadheads bouncing off of the rib cage. Your broadhead is not supposed to bounce off the rib cage. Your broadhead is supposed to cut through on contact and go directly through the animal on the same trajectory and not be deflected by a rib. Duh. Picture this, 160-inch buck comes running in under your stand. 15 yards away, he's quartering towards. Which broadhead are you choosing? If you choose this one, you're psycho. If you choose this one, wow, you actually have some brain cells. With the proper setup, like a cut-on-contact, razor-sharp broadhead, fixed blade, and a heavy arrow, you can blow through that shoulder no problem. If you're shooting a 450 grain arrow with a mechanical broadhead, I would think twice about shooting that shoulder. It's just my 2 cents. There's a lot of reasons why mechanicals just don't add up. They're not durable. Number 1, they're not sharp, okay? Number 2, and 3, they create so much drag going through the animal that you can't count on it passing through the animal. This right here is an 1 1/8 cutting diameter, while this one here is 2 inches. Do the math. Do you think that a dull 2-inch broadhead is going to fly through the animal as opposed to a 1 1/8 inch razor sharp broadhead? Now, yes, mechanical broadheads will pass through animals sometimes. It happens. So if you're about to comment and argue that, oh, my mechanical passes through. Yeah, it happens. So we go back to the scenario. Buck comes in, quartering towards, which broadhead are you choosing? I would choose this. And if I had a heavy setup, I would take that shot. If I had this, I would be responsible and think twice about pulling the trigger. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about a few facts. These facts have been proven by multiple sources. My sources being the Ashby reports, go look at them if you don't know what it is, Ranch Fairy, and the Hunting Public. Also, Average Jack Archery is another good one, so go check them out. If you have any other questions, this is me just purely ranting, and it's my opinion. But this is backed up with some facts before you get all ballistic on me again. So, mechanicals, they are not sharp. You may think they are sharp, but they are not as sharp as you think they are. This broadhead right here is a Rage 2 blade. See how I'm running my finger over this cut-on contact? Right here. The main blade that's supposed to cut through the deer. I should not be able to run my finger over it like that, okay? This one right here, I'm not even going to try to put my finger on that. Now you're probably thinking, oh, he's just saying that just to make a video. Well, you can believe that if you want, but I've taken this thing over a sharpener and a strop, and I have this thing razor sharp. You wanna know how sharp it is? We're gonna take this piece of paper, we're just gonna go. That's a sharp broadhead, okay? Now let's try to take this mechanical. Yeah, that ain't working. Try it again so you can see it. I mean, that right there should be red flag, okay? I don't understand why people still always will choose these. Like, they're so dead set on shooting a mechanical. They're not sharp, okay? And it's so difficult to sharpen these blades. This, I run over a strop and a sharper super easy. This right here, razor sharp from the point all the way to the back. Even these back little bevels back here are sharp. No matter which way this thing goes through the animal, no matter how it hits it, every point of this broadhead is cutting. Every single point of it. And it's razor sharp. So when it goes through the animal, if it just even nicks an artery or a vessel or something, it's gonna cut it open. If you want to pull out the excuse, oh, these don't create blood trails, I beg to differ. They do create blood trails. I've had better blood trails with this than I have had with this. Okay, I shot a buck a couple years ago. This thing put a gaping hole in the one side, but it only went in about that far. Now it killed the deer. The deer ran about 100 yards. I didn't have a single drop of blood until about 10-15 yards from where he died. This one I shot a doe with just a couple months ago, full pass through, and there was blood from where I shot the deer to where it died. A steady blood trail the whole way. I would trust this way more than this. You couldn't pay me enough to shoot one of these. A sharp cut-on contact broadhead will always be better than a dull, anything dull, okay? Because the moment that it enters the deer, it is cutting. Obviously, a super sharp broadhead is going to enter the body so much easier than a dull broadhead. I mean, that's common sense. Are you going to use a butter knife to cut a pepper, or are you going to use a sharp knife? That's what I thought. You don't use butter knives to cut peppers.
Common sense.
Why would you use a dull broadhead to shoot a deer over a sharp one? This is like a surgical knife. This is a butter knife. Another fact, an arrow with 20% FOC, and this is proven by the Ashby reports. When you get to 20% FOC, front of center, okay, what happens is the broadhead will begin to pull the arrow rather than the bow having to try to push the arrow through. And that's the thing, like, people are so crazy. You get a light arrow that shoots super fast, and you get a bow that shoots it super fast and has a lot of energy. Nothing can stop it. That is false. Imagine this. You take a smart car. You know what a smart car is? Super tiny. And you drive it 100 miles an hour into a solid 10-foot wall of concrete. What do you think is going to happen to the car? Is the wall going to blow apart, or is the car going to be smushed to smithereens? It's going to be smushed to smithereens. Now, say you take a semi-truck going at 100 miles an hour and hits that concrete wall. What's going to happen? Yeah, you're going to do some damage to the semi-truck, but obviously you're going to blow through, or at least do a lot more damage to that concrete wall than the smart car did. This is the smart car. This is the semi-truck. It's just, it baffles me that people still try to argue that these are always better. And you will never convince me otherwise, and I doubt this video will convince you otherwise too, but I'm at least trying. Obviously, anything higher than 20% FOC, it just builds on itself. It's compounding. It's pulling harder and harder. And eventually you get to the point that basically a heavy arrow is a bullet with a tail. That's what it is. If I haven't convinced you otherwise, or if I haven't pissed you off yet, let's talk about one more thing. There is a argument about fixed blades, and it's that, oh, they don't shoot like my field tips. And that was the marketing technique with these mechanicals, is pull them out of the box, shoot like a field tip. You just pull them out and shoot, you go hunting. It's a good marketing scheme, all right? Right? There's no tuning, you don't have to worry about anything. But you really need to sit back and think and evaluate. Okay, you're going hunting and you are going to take an animal's life. So ask the question, do I want to better my odds, or am I just too lazy to even do that? Are you shooting a mechanical because you're being lazy? Are you using it as an excuse to be lazy? Why would you go out there and just hope that this broadhead kills the deer when you could have nearly 100% confidence that this is going to kill the deer? I mean, that is something that you really have to think. And then it comes down to morals. Are you being lazy? Like, are you going to hunt deer, but you're too lazy to sit back and tune your bow, tune your arrows, tune your broadhead, do whatever you have to do? Are you being lazy? Is that why you're shooting this? And now you're going out there and you're wounding animals? I mean, that's sick. If you're going out there and like, oh, I hope this thing does the right thing. I hope it kills a deer, and I hope I don't wound it. Well, you don't have to hope. This thing right here, I mean, I have 100% confidence in this thing right here. And this arrow isn't even that heavy of an arrow. It's a 450 grain arrow. It's a 125 grain Magnus Stinger, but I have this thing razor sharp and it's cut on contact. It's a big upgrade from this piece of flapping junk that I used to shoot. And now I have so much more confidence in my arrow setup. I know that if I go out there, a deer comes in within 20, 30 yards, I don't trust this particular setup to go through a shoulder, because it's not heavy. So I'm going to discipline myself. But if a deer gives me the proper shot, I have confidence that this is going to zip right through and I'm going to kill the deer. I have 100% confidence that I will do that. This broadhead, I used to go out there and like, well, I hope this thing penetrates enough so that I get enough blood and then I kill the deer. That is an awful argument, okay? And that is being lazy. That was a dumb argument on my part. That was immature. That's what that was, okay? These broadheads, they're not hard to tune. This broadhead shoots exactly like my field tip. You know why? Because I wasn't lazy. I went to the pro shop and had them tune my bow, make sure that it was in timing, that the cans were timed, that everything was squared up. And they paper tuned it for me. It's $10. Get up off your butt, get some adult broadheads, be an adult, be mature, sit down and sharpen your broadheads, make sure that your stuff is in check, and have confidence in your freaking equipment, and stop hoping that this is gonna kill your animal. That's all I gotta say. Grow up. Grow up, Bear.